Hi. This is one of my first reports for the upcoming primary election in Central Illinois. And this is going to be my nonpartisan version. I made a partisan version a while ago. One thing about Illinois right now is that weather has been great. I went for a run along the Rock Island Trail, not a very fast one. I passed by a pond, and there was a cricket frog just singing its heart out. Of course, that's mating calls for frogs, and the loudest croakers get the most mates. And that's evolution in action because, well, it turns out that the frogs with the loudest croaks actually have the healthiest tadpoles. So I think that's a version of sexual selection, but never mind that. This is about politics. And in central Illinois, I live in the Illinois 17th District, and I don't really see any of the down ticket races in the Democratic primary to be competitive. There's a three-person race for the Illinois 17th Democrat candidate for the U.S. House. Sherry Bustos has backing of Dick Durbin and the heavyweight Democrats, so I anticipate that she'll win without too much problems. I watched the debate, and she seemed to know the issues better than the other two. Now, I'll be honest, the race that really interests me the most is the Republican presidential primary, where, of course, there's Ron Paul, who's Ron Paul. He's going to get his somewhere between 5–10% he always gets. And then there's Newt Gingrich, who flat said he's not campaigning. He's already called it a two-person race in Illinois, which in fact it is. So the big showdown will be between Mitt Romney, the establishment candidate, who is outspending Rick Santorum by something like 3-1 or more, and Rick Santorum, of course. Now, Rick Santorum is trailing Romney by anywhere between 4 and 7 points, depending on which poll you read. That's outside the margin of error. But Rick Santorum has consistently overperformed his poll showings, at least in states like this. And Illinois has a big rural area where it might be similar in some ways to Michigan or Ohio, except Romney doesn't have the big ties here. So I think it's all going to go down to turnout. If there's a big turnout in Chicago and in the collar counties, and that's where something like well over half of the voting population lives, then Mitt Romney will do quite well. However, if there is a big turnout downstate and a big enough turnout to offset the models, because polling models are based on predicted turnout, then Rick Santorum has an excellent chance of winning. The other thing about this is that, again, the collar counties where wealthier people live, Mitt Romney is stronger in the 100,000 and above bracket, in the more higher educated brackets. Rick Santorum stronger in the more working class brackets, and much, much, much stronger downstate. As Nate Silver points out, Chicago and the rest of the state really have very little to do with each other in terms of demographics and sometimes of other things. So if Santorum campaign can get the vote out, especially downstate, they have an excellent chance of winning the state. Now, another thing to consider is that Santorum was so disorganized that he only has 44 of 54 possible delegates on the ballot. He just didn't meet the deadline. Now, that's a huge gaffe, and that might cost him dearly, especially when you consider that the Republicans allocate their delegates by congressional districts. Now, at the congressional district level, it is winner take all, and there's 18 of these. So if you win a congressional district, you get all 3 delegates. It's not the proportional representation the Democrats have. However, some of the places that Santorum didn't get delegates are in places where Romney's likely to win anyway. But he does have an excellent chance. Another thing is that there's a fair number of Democrats who want to prolong the Republican primary, who are pushing for Santorum, and who might actually take a ballot and vote for Santorum. That can account for 1–2%, which in a close election might make the difference, and it might really make the difference at the congressional level, especially if it's a district where there's no competitive races on down ticket. So this ought to be interesting. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it sure as heck is a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the show. Take care. Bye.